800 Bravo, shots fired. 800 Bravo, shots fired. Ah! I got 2 officers shot and the suspect's still in the vehicle.
That is the scanner audio moments after Fairfax County police were shot at. 2 officers wounded. We are told they're expected to survive. Now, that is just one of 2 breaking news stories we're following. Good afternoon. I'm Victoria Sanchez.
And I'm Megan Clark. And that police shooting came just hours after a student was critically wounded in a stabbing at West Potomac High School in the Fairfax section of Alexandria.
Now, we have coverage from both ends of Fairfax County. Tom Rousey is at the school, but let's get right to Josh Chapin on the scene of this shooting. Josh, what can you tell us?
Well, Victoria, just a massive police response by Fairfax County and all other different neighboring law enforcement agencies. We are in the Greenbrier section of Fairfax County. It is so many emergency vehicles around here. The traffic is backing up onto Route 50 between the Faro section and Chantilly. But if Mike can go in, show you again a little bit of what we're seeing here on the scene, not just 1, but 2 mobile command stations that police have set up here for this investigation that no doubt will be hours long. Again, this afternoon, as you said right off the top, we have learned from Fairfax County Police that 2 of their officers were shot this afternoon. They were rushed to a local hospital. Their injuries at this point described as non-life-threatening, which is really good news in all this. It's a little hard for us, given how far back we are, to tell, but investigators have their eyes on a sedan, a gray or a white sedan in the middle of that intersection. That, according to police, is the car that they tried to stop this afternoon. For what? We're not sure at this point. What we can gather, gunfire was exchanged between the person driving this car and the officers. We are asking how that suspect is doing at this point. Again, 2 officers shot here on the scene in the Greenbrier section of Fairfax County. We know that Police Chief Kevin Davis is on scene here, and he's supposed to come over and talk to the media at some point. When we do hear from him, we'll bring that to you live here on Channel 7 as well as WJLA.com, and we'll have another update for sure coming up at 5 o'clock. Back to you guys.
We want to show you.
I'm Jasmine Stiles here at the alert desk, and that shooting near Fair Oaks happened just off US 50, and this is leading to some significant backups that we can see outlined here in yellow and red. So Lee Jackson Highway is already a very high traffic area, and according to Virginia DOT, that backup is about a mile long. Their website is also showing that the east right lane and right shoulder are closed, as well as the west left shoulder and left lane. So if you are trying to get to the hockey or baseball games tonight, or maybe you're expecting someone to come home, you want to give yourself and them some extra time. I'm definitely going to keep an eye on this traffic situation for you throughout the newscast, and we'll keep you updated.
All right, Jasmine, thank you for that update. So we're going to go to our second breaking news story, also happening in Fairfax County. A student is in the hospital after they were stabbed at West Potomac High School this morning.
And 7 News reporter Tom Rousey is live for us right now at West Potomac. Tom, you've been there on scene at the school all day. What can you tell us about this timeline and what happened here today?
Well, it certainly was anything but a normal school day. Very scary, students say. Let me step out of the way here. Things have calmed down a lot. The buses have left and the students have gone home for the day. Most of the police have left as well, but not all of them. There are still a few who are hanging around here. Let me show you a picture we were given of the aftermath of this stabbing here at West Potomac High School earlier today. Now, what we are covering in black is the student who was stabbed lying on the ground, as well as what I can only describe as a scary amount of blood that was next to him. Now, this happened around 9:40 this morning in a hallway as students were between classes. Police say 3 students got into a fight. They were only using their fists at first, but at one point a 15-year-old student, police say, pulled out a knife and stabbed a 16-year-old that he'd been fighting with. Now, police say they recovered the knife and they took the 15-year-old into custody. He's going to be charged with malicious wounding, they say. Initially, police said the 16-year-old's injuries were potentially life-threatening, but they did later say, fortunately, he had stabilized. I talked to a friend of that 16-year-old boy who was stabbed, as well as a student who witnessed part of this.
At one point, I just saw some kid with a red shirt just running into the halls. I see blood dripping, and I just see him drop on the floor, and then I see a bunch of blood everywhere. It was terrifying to see. I just never thought I would see something like that.
I just can't believe it happened to him, because he's a good kid, but it's really messed me up. So I do put a lot of credit out for our resource officer that ran and got to him and got it situated, because he is a great guy.
On your screen right now, you see some of the parents and relatives of students. They had to wait hours outside West Potomac High School to pick their teenagers up. I spoke with a number of them who say their teens had actually witnessed the stabbing. The parents grew frustrated the longer they waited, but eventually they were allowed to take their children home. Also, school, as I mentioned, has now let out, so things returning to normal here at West Potomac High. But the word I kept hearing over and over from parents, grandparents, relatives, as well as students is this was very traumatizing, because a lot of students witnessed this. They were in the hallway between classes. There were a lot of students around, so a lot of them just very upset by what they saw. That said, they were relieved to learn that the young man, the 16-year-old who was stabbed, is expected to survive that. Reporting live outside West Potomac High School in the Alexandria section of Fairfax County, I'm Tom Rousey, 7 News.